Come with me out into the street. I want to show you something. Come on. Well, look at this building. Today we know it as Little Saloon, but why is there a doctor's name above the door? Well, I'll tell you in a minute.
There are only 5 original buildings still standing here in Calico. See, most of the buildings back in the mining days were made of wood, which was a problem because the wood quickly dried out in the hot desert sun, and dry wood is very flammable. As a result, fires were common. The first one was reported in June of 1883 when the town was just 2 years old. Maybe it became apparent that making structures out of kindling wasn't the best idea, which might be why some people rebuilt their burned out buildings out of a far better material. 4 of our 5 original buildings, the Zenda Mine, Lane's General Store, the Lucy Lane House, and of course Little Saloon, are made of rammed earth, a process in which sand, dirt, and other material is poured into a form to create the walls. It goes without saying that dirt and sand don't catch fire nearly as easily as dried out wood.
Rammed earth is kind of like adobe, except that instead of being made from stacked bricks, the walls are formed in one solid piece.
If you look closely, you can see pieces of plates, glass bottles, and other items embedded into the walls, which was done on purpose to provide more strength. You might even find some pieces of charred china from one of the fires that burned the town.
In addition to being fireproof, rammed earth walls are good insulators, keeping the warm air in during the cold winters and the warm air out during the hot summers.
Property deeds show us that this was the location of the Goodenough and Mendenhall drugstore in the early 1880s. Dr. Goodenough was a dentist who had worked in the mining camps in Nevada, and Mr. Mendenhall was a pharmacist. In 1885, Messrs. Quinn and Sutcliffe opened the Boca Beer Hall, one of the 22 saloons in Calico, serving the very popular Boca Beer and cigars, but no jawbone, to the thirsty miners and townspeople when Main Street was the busy center of entertainment. In 1887, Dr. Albert Romeo Rhea bought the building, opening a pharmacy and Wells Fargo office. Dr. Rhea served as a Wells Fargo agent for 3 years and was one of the 4 or 5 physicians in Calico. He was a loved and respected member of Calico society, so we keep his name on his building to show our respect. There's a QR code video about him inside. By the mid-1890s, when the price of silver plummeted, mining operations halted, and the residents left, the building sat vacant. Caretaker Larry Koch opened a rock shop and miners museum here in the 1930s, and in 1951 Walter Knott bought the town, filling the empty buildings with items from all over the country to give Calico its Wild West feel. He found a beautiful back bar and put it into Dr. Rhea's building and created Lil's Saloon, which has been in continuous operation since.
So come with me into Lil's, have a drink, have a snack, and click on the QR codes inside for more fascinating stories about Calico. Can I have a beer, please?